whole morning full.
Yeah.
Morning food.
hmm
It's okay. Gimel. If one gives his laborers and his guests truma to eat, he pays its value, and they pay the fifth. So says Rav Meir. But the comments say they pay its value and the fifth, and he pays them the value of their meal. If one stole truma but did not eat it, he pays double the value of truma. If he ate it, he pays twice its value and a fifth. The value plus the fifth from chulin and the value of truma. If one stole truma of hektish, they had ate it, he pays two-fifths in its value, since twofold payment does not apply to hektish. One may not pay from leket. This is Rabbi Meir. One may not pay from leket, chicken pay or hefko, nor from the ma'aser rishon, from which its truma has been taken, or from ma'aser sheni or hektish, which has been redeemed. For one holy thing cannot redeem another, says Rabbi Meir. But I can come and permit with these. Yeah.
Okay. Rabbi Eliezer Omer, Meshalmin mimin al she'eno mino. He says that when somebody has accidentally eaten truma and they want to replace truma, then he can take any chulin he wants and turn it into truma. So if he accidentally ate truma of wheat, he can bring figs and say, okay, here's the replacement truma. ובלבד שישלם מן היפה al hara, as long as it's a higher quality than whatever he's replacing. Rabbi Akiva Omer, ein משלמים אלא ממין al mino. Says Rabbi Akiva, if you ate wheat, you must replace wheat. If you ate figs, you must replace figs. לפיכך, אם אכל קישואין של ערב שביעס. So if he ate cucumbers that were truma and it was erev shvius. Okay, so now before the Shemitah, and now there are no more cucumbers left in the field for him to go and get some more. And the next year is going to be Shemitah. Now that Shemitah is not chulin. You cannot take Shemitah. He's got a debt to a kohen, and you cannot. And even though he can go into the field and take the cucumbers and because they're hefker, but he cannot turn them into truma because you cannot. First of all, you cannot settle a debt with Shemitah produce, and second of all, it's got a certain kedusha to it, so it's not chulin. Okay, so Yamtin the Kishuin shall motza ishvi. So now he's got this debt hanging over his head until the eighth year, when he can finally go and buy some new chulin cucumbers and turn them into truma. Shalem mehem. Mimakom sheRabbi Eliezer mekel shemisham Rabbi Akiva machmir. And in terms of justification for their positions, it's interesting to see that both Rabbi Eliezer and Rabbi Akiva use the same pasuk to justify their position. Shinemar v'nasan lakohen es hakodesh. So the pasuk says he must give to the kohen the kodesh. Says Rabbi Eliezer, kol shehu ra'oi lios kodesh. Divrei Rabbi Eliezer. Anything that could be kodesh, right? You see, v'nasan lakohen es hakodesh. Whatever can become kodesh. Rabbi Akiva Omer, v'nasan lakohen es hakodesh, kodesh sha'achal. He's saying like hakodesh. This is the whole this is showing that it's got to be from the kodesh, the species of kodesh that he accidentally ate. Okay. I believe halacha is like Rabbi Akiva. Stama, it's usually like Rabbi Akiva against any one of his chaverim. Okay. Uh, right. Perik Zayin now moves on to the subject of somebody who ate truma b'mezid. He knew it was truma and he ate it anyway. And the halacha, interestingly, comes out that it's more makil on him. Because why? He doesn't have to pay the extra chomesh. Ha'ochel truma mezid, mishalim es hakerin ve'eno mishalim es hachomesh. So why is the Torah more makil on a guy whose sin is more severe? So Rambam explains it like this: you got to look at it as his sin is too great to be expiated by giving a chomesh. Somebody did it accidentally. He can fix things by giving an extra chomesh. A guy who b'mezid ate truma, there's no more kedusha over here. And what you'll see also is that hatashlumin chulin, what he's replacing it with now is purely a monetary debt. There's no ritual involved over here. When he gives the kohen, he does teshuvah and he wants to give back what he ate. It doesn't become truma. he gives chulin to the coin, and the coin, and also if the coin wants imratzah coin limchol mochel, says no, I don't want it, it's okay, I forgive you for eating my truma. And then and because it's chulin, he's allowed to be mochel. Now this we said when it came to the accident, the shogeg, right? If he ate by mistake, we said that it turns into truma, and the coin is not allowed to be mochel because it's
Right.
real truma. Okay, but in this case, the coin is allowed to be mochel. So you see the difference is that when it's an accident, then it can be repaired, and it all follows the ritual path where things become truma. He adds a fifth, and this is kind of the more holy path. When it's mazid, he's out of that parsha. All that he can do is repay what he stole. And if
Right.
somebody wants to be mochel what you stole, yeah, they can do that. Okay. Mishnah Base. Bas Kohen Shenisa is Yisrael. So you have the daughter of a Kohen who married a Yisrael. Okay. V'achar kach achla truma. And now afterwards, she eats truma. She was in the habit of eating truma before, and now she forgot herself, and she went to and now she's married to a Yisrael, and she went and ate truma, and oops. Okay, so now what must she do? Mishalemes is a Karen, but Aina Mishalemes is ha Chumash. This is, by the way, just a preface over here, because there are a few sentences. This is the opinion of Rabbi Meir we're talking about. Rabbi Meir starts out the Mishnah by saying that this Bas Kohen must repay the principal, but she doesn't have to pay the Chumash because she's still called a Bas Kohen. Misas Habasreifa. If she commits adultery, she is executed rather than a normal adulterer gets chenek, strangulation, whereas the Bas Kohen gets streifa, yeah, as an adulteress. Nises le'echad mikol apsulin. However, says Rabbi Meir, if she marries if she marries somebody that she's puzzled to marry, so for example, if she marries a mamzer,
Mm.
um, or um, still in there that a Bascoin who could a Bascoin not marry a mamzer, or um
Let's see.
a Mitzri or a Moavi Edomi, a Moavi or a Ammoni, right? Edomi. Okay, if she marries one of the people that she's not allowed to marry, now that if she does such a thing, or if she lives with a non-Jew, that's also, that puzzles her from kahuna. Okay, and she would not be allowed to carry on eating truma if she returns to her father's house, because now that she has had relations with somebody that she's ushered to be married to, she would not be allowed ever to eat truma again. Okay, so now, if she marries one of these puzzle people, Mishalemes Keren v'chomesh, and she now goes ahead and eats truma, she now takes on the din of a Yisraelis legamre, and if she would have to pay Keren v'chomesh for the truma, or misas habechenek, and if she commits adultery, then her death penalty is chenek like any other Bas Yisrael. Divrei Rabbi Meir. All of the above is Rabbi Meir's opinion. Chachamim omrim zo v'zo mishalmos es hakeren v'einan mishalmos es hachomesh. The Bas Kohen stays in her din of a Bas Kohen, or misasan b'sreifa. It doesn't matter if she does something that she was not supposed to do. She is still called a Bas Kohen all of her life. Even and the Chachamim have a good point over here that the fact is that even as once she's married to a Yisrael, she's not allowed to eat truma. She takes on the din of Israel when she's married to a Israel, but nonetheless her penalty for adultery is streifa, and that's the din of a Bas Kohen, and she never loses her shem Bas Kohen, even if she was married to somebody that she was not allowed to be married to.
But they still get to strangle her or burn her either way. So what if she says she could turn around and say, listen, you're going to kill me anyway, so I'm not going to pay you. What difference does it make? You know,
Hold on, you're conflating cases over here. These are different. We're talking about completely different cases. One case is where she commits adultery. What's her death penalty? Another case is she ate truma. Does she need to pay Keren v'chomish, or does she just pay Keren?
They're going to kill her anyway by strangling.
No, but this is a different case. This is not the Bas Kohen who committed
Oh,
adultery.
okay. All right. All right.
This is just it's just a standard Bas Kohen who ate truma.
Okay.
So she
All
was
right.
married to one of the psulim.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Um,
Okay.
let's go
Where we
back
are.
to Daladal.
Dollar. If one says to his agent, go and set aside truma, he must separate according to the owner's mind. If he does not know the owner's mind, he separates according to the average person, 1/50th. If he gave 10 less or 10 more, his truma is truma. If he intentionally added even one, his truma is not truma. If one wishes to give more truma, where Eliezer says 1/10, as in the case of truma misa. If more than this, he should make a truma misa for another place. Rabbi Yisrael says half chulin and half truma. Reb Tarfon and Rabbi Akiva say as long as it retains as part as kula. And three times there's one measure. The baskets at the time of the first ripe fruits, at the time of the late summer fruits, and at the middle of the summer. He who counts is praiseworthy, he who measures is more praiseworthy, and he who weighs is the most praiseworthy of all the three.
Okay. Shvius, Gimel Yud.
One who builds a wall between his own and the public domain may dig down to the rock. What shall I do with the earth? He heaps it onto the public domain and then restores it to order. So said Rebbe Yeshua. Rebbe Kiva says, just as one may not cause damage to the public domain, so also may one not restore it to order. What shall he do with the earth? He heaps it up in his field in the manner of those who take out measure. Likewise, when one digs a well, a trench, or a cave. At first, they said, a man may gather wood and stones and herbs from his own just as he may gather from his neighbors, the large ones. When the number of transgressions increased, they decree that one should gather from the other and not as a favor, nor needless to say, stipulating the allocation of food. And a field which was cleared of thistles may be sown in the 8th year. One which was improved or was used as a cattle fold may not be sown in the 8th year. A field which was improved, but Beit Shammai says one may not eat its fruit in the 7th year, but Beit Hillel says one may eat. Beit Shammai says one may not eat the fruit of the 7th year as a favor, but Beit Hillel says one may eat it whether or not he regards it as a favor. And Red Yehuda says, turn it around. This is one of the leniencies of Beit Shammai and stringencies of Beit Hillel.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. A bridegroom may recite the Shema on the first night if he wishes to. Rav Gamil said, "Not everyone who wishes to assumes the name may assume it. One whose dead lies before him is exempt from reading the Shema and from tefillah and from tefillin. The pallbearers and their replacements and the replacements of the replacements, those going before the coffin and those going after the coffin, these are needed for the coffin. Those are needed for the coffin are exempt, and those who are not needed for the bier are obliged. Those and these and those are exempt from the tefillah. They bury the dead and returned. If they are able to begin and finish before they reach the line, they should begin, and if not, they shall not begin. Those standing in line, the innermost are exempt, while the outermost are obliged. Obliged. Okay.
Women?
Let's skip one.
No, there's one more. Brachas Gimel. Yeah.
Sorry. About carry reads
Hold on, no,
mentally.
Mishnah Gimel. You haven't said Mishnah Gimel yet.
Women, slaves, and minors are exempt from reading the Shema and tefillah, but they are subject to the obligation of tefillah and mezuzah and to recite grace after meals. Okay. Olios. Okay. That's Aleph. A beehive is located in the doorway of a house with its mouth outdoors. An olive-sized piece of corpse is located outdoors, either below the hive or above it. Any item that is directly below or above the olive-sized piece becomes tummy. Whatever is not directly below or above the olive-sized piece, and whatever is inside either the hive or the house remains tahor. If the olive-sized piece is inside the house, only that which is inside the house becomes tummy. If it is inside the hive, everything becomes tummy. If the hive is one handbreadth above the ground, and there is tumah below or inside the house or above the hive, everything becomes tummy except for that which is inside the hive. If the tumor is inside the hive, everything becomes tummy. In what case does this apply? When the hive is a utensil with windows. However, it was broken and stuffed with straw, or if the windows were covered, what is considered covered? When there is no window the size of a handbreadth and an olive-sized piece of corpse is located underneath the hide, utensil directly below the olive-sized piece, as deep as one can go, become tame. If the olive-sized piece is above the hive, utensils directly above the olive-sized piece up to the sky becomes tame. If the olive-sized piece is inside the house, only the house becomes tame. If the outside piece is inside the hive, only that which is inside becomes tummy.
Okay.
Okay.
Adios.
Hey, hey, hey. Four brothers, two of whom were married.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. Hey, hey. Beg your pardon.
Uh, Four brothers, two of whom were married to two sisters, and those who were married to two sisters both died. Both of these sisters remain Kalitza, the proprietor of Kalitza, but they may not be taken in Yibum. And if the brothers went ahead and married the sisters, they must divorce them. If Elias says in the name of Reb Shammai, they may keep them, but Beis Hillel says they must divorce them. Akiva ben Maliala testified concerning four matters. The said you say to him, Akiva, rescind from your position on the four matters that you have said, and we will appoint you to our Beis Din for the Jewish people. Akavi replied to them, it is preferable to be called a fool all my days and not become a wicked person for even one moment for the omnipresent, that people should not say, Akiva married retracted from his opinion for the sake of obtaining a position of authority. He, Akavi, declared would declare tummy the positive hair, and yellow your uterine blood, but the sages declare them tahor. Who would permit benefiting them from the hair of a blemished bikor, which fell out and was placed in the recess of the wall, and afterwards he slaughtered the animal, and the sages prohibited. Yeah, Akiva ben Mahal used to say, "We do not give thanks, we do not give to drink neither to a female convert nor to a freed slave woman." But the sages say we do give them to drink, and they said to him, an incident once occurred in Yerushalayim in connection with Karkamis, a freed slave woman, and Shemaiah and Avratan gave her a soda water to drink. Avratan and Mazel replied to them, they gave her to drink similar, but they excommunicated Akiva, and he died in a state of excommunication. And this court had his coffin stolen. And Rabbi Yehuda said, heaven forbid that one say that Akiva was excommunicated, for the doors of the temple court did not close on anyone from the entire people of Israel who was as great in wisdom and fear of sin as was Akiva ben Mamaho. Rather, was it who that they communicated it? I'm not going to mistake. Was Akiva ben Mamaho. Rather, it was he who they communicated. It was Eliezer ben Kanak who slighted the requirement of keeping one's hands tahor. And when he died, the court sent his agents and placed a quote on his coffin. It teaches you when anyone is excommunicated and dies in a state of excommunication, the court stones his coffin. At the time of Akiva's death, he said to his son, my son, retract from the four matters that I used to say. He said to Akiva, his father, but why did you retract? Not retract yourself. He said, I heard these rulings proclaimed by the majority, and the sages heard them pronounced by the majority. Thus, I adhered to my received tradition, and they adhered to their received tradition. But you heard one set of rulings pronounced by a single individual, myself, and a conflicting set of rulings pronounced by the majority. Therefore, it is preferable for you to abandon the words of the individual and to grasp onto the words of the majority. He said to Akiva, Rabbi, Father, intercede with your colleagues about me. He answered him, I will not intercede. He said to Akiva, perhaps you have found some cause in me. And he said to him, no, it is your deeds that will bring you close to the sages and your deeds that will distance you. Okay.
I love that Mishnah, by the way. That's one of my favorite ones. It's like I'm not I'm not standing up for you. You got to earn your own way through the world, son.
Right.
That's like great parenting.
Gil Aleph. These people may cut their hair during Kol HaMoed. One who arrived from abroad, one was released from captivity, left prison, or the excommunication whose ban was lifted by the coming. Similarly, one who applied to a sage and had been released from his vow, the Nazir or the Metzora who returned from a state of contamination to a state of purity. And these people may launder their clothing during Kol HaMoed. One who arrived from abroad, was released from captivity, left prison, or the excommunication whose ban was lifted by sages. Similarly, one who applied to a sage and was released from his vow. Hand towels, and barber's cloths, and hair towels may be laundered. Zavim, Zavos, menstruants, women who have given birth, and all have returned from the state of contamination to a state of purity. These are permitted to launder their clothing, or all others are forbidden. And these documents may be written during the Kol Hamoed. Instruments of betrothal, divorces, receipts, testaments, gifts, posbolim, evaluation documents, support documents, Kalitza certificates, refusals, selection of contracts, court edicts, and government documents. We may not write loan contracts during Kol Hamoed. However, if one does not trust him or he has nothing to eat, then he may write. We may not write books of scripture, nor tefillin, nor mezuzahs during
Oh, no,
Kol
no.
Hamoed.
So we've gone too far there. That'll is for tomorrow.
I finished? Okay.
Yeah.
All
Okay.
right. All right. Have a great day. Enjoy. It's a good day to go running outside, I see.
That sounds looks like a good day.
Be well. Thank you. Bye.